talk about diversity and what that term means to you. Who would like to share? Any ideas as to what you think the term would mean, and especially in employment or perhaps in higher education? Who would like to start? Yeah.
Diversity to me means differences among people.
Right. It means a diverse population or something like that. Good. Okay. Who else? Jason, what do you have down? Yeah.
It means having experiences which different aspects of life, whether it be traveling around the world, meeting different people, learning about different cultures, understanding that everyone else is diverse from you and can have different interesting lifestyles.
Good. Okay, I like that definition too. Who else would like to share? Heather, what did you have?
I had that it's like a broad range of like races and different ethnical relativism.
Okay, good. Others? Who else? Yeah.
Diversity encompasses a broad range of people, including the disabled, people based on racial, religious, ethnic, or sexual orientation, the foundation of America. For as a whole, we are made up of many experiences and people.
Good. Anyone else want to share a definition or what you think this means? Yeah.
Diversity is difference in expanding your horizons and accepting new ideas.
Oh, good. These are all good. I'm not going to give you a cut and dry definition of diversity, but what we've been saying here so far is very good. These are issues that include such considerations as age, gender, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation in employment or education. And what we're going to do today is talk about how diversity is moving along. It's a major issue in public relations. I'm not going to speak of it in terms of women in public relations because, fortunately for us, we are at a point now where the number of women in the field and the number of women in higher level positions in public relations has been steadily improving. And in the past 20 years, in fact, that's been the case. Since 1986, that was kind of a watershed year for women because in that year, the number of women practitioners in PR hit 50%. When I was back in the dark ages before that, there weren't that many. And when I started my career in public relations, there weren't very many women that I knew in the field. So it has changed in my lifetime. But what we're going to try to do today is talk about diversity in other facets of public relations. First thing I want to do is to have you take this quiz. And if I did this right, you'll only see the question first. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, good. See if you can put down an answer to that. Which minority group is the largest? The answers, by the way, came from the U.S. Census Bureau, so all of this is brand new material. The minority group that is the largest. Anyone want to take a guess? Yeah, Heather. That's what I would have thought too, but you know what? Hispanic. Here's a fact for you. And this is an interesting one. Hispanics accounted for 1/2 of the overall U.S. population growth of 2.9 million additional people between 2003 and 2004. So Hispanics are the largest. Now, not by much, I mean by a few million, but it's not that African Americans aren't a large group. Okay, so that's one. Let's see if how you do on the next one. And by the way, I had no idea on these either until I took this little quiz. Very educational. Okay. Now you can probably pick a percentage out of a hat, but what percentage would you estimate? Okay. You're getting close. Who said 5? Very close. Very close. Here's the answer. 3.8. Now, I'm going to have more to say about the estimated, the way that that's estimated. That is the best that we can do as far as estimating the percentage on that particular aspect. I'm going to talk more about that later on, but just so that you can get some idea of the official figures that are out there. How about this one? Any ideas? Well, that's a little high. 24%. But that is quite large. Think about where we are today. It's much less now. So 24%. Here's the next one. No, not at all. It's going to keep increasing. What's going to happen, if you can picture the different ethnic and racial groups in the country as a kind of a pie-shaped figure, and there's certain percentages of a pie that are white and African American and Hispanic, the percentage that's African American and Hispanic is going to increase, and the number of the percentage that's white will decrease. Okay? But now this one. Any guesses on this one? Well, you're high. 15%. Again, these are things that I was surprised about, but I thought they were relevant, very relevant. Okay, the next one. I'll be in there. If I'm still around, I'll be way up there. My children will be in that group. You guys might be in there. Percentage. 21. 21%. And again, this is a huge group, and in terms of what you're doing, how did you guys do, by the way? Did anyone get all of those right? Did anyone get one wrong? 2? 3? How about, I didn't know any of them. Okay. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is I want to talk for a few minutes about how you communicate with diverse publics. What I'm going to talk about the next half hour is kind of a two-pronged thing. We're going to talk about how you as PR people are going to communicate with these diverse publics, Hispanics, African Americans, older Americans, and so forth. And also then after that, what kind of a job market there is in terms of diversity in public relations. So we're going to talk about both. Hopefully we'll get through all of it. So hang in there with me. The first thing I want to talk about is multicultural consumers. That's the term that we're going to use as kind of an umbrella term, is being used by PRSA to describe these various ethnic and racial groups that are out there. And I'm going to speak primarily in terms of the largest ones. So bear with me as we're trying to do a lot of things here very quickly. The information that I'm going to be sharing with you now comes from a leading public relations practitioner who is Hispanic. And he did a lot of interesting research here. So I'm going to share this with you. Some demographics for you. And these are really interesting. Today, we have 95 million people of African, Hispanic, or Asian heritage in this country. Their purchasing power, and this is where it comes into play for you as public relations practitioners, their purchasing power is tremendously high. Look at that figure, $2 trillion. Now, those pieces of information